27 years, I have seen all kinds of craziness. And the things that people do to each other are unbelievably
Is this the worst?
horrible. The worst that I have seen, in my opinion, was we had a case where she was so angry and resentful and she wanted to really hurt him. She had his...
Whoa.
So if you're married and you go through a period of time where, and this is kind of normal, kind of dies.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
For most guys. Men like you, it's never going to die. But for some men, it's going to die.
What is
Just
the
that alone,
divorce
I think,
rate
would-
in the gay community?
It's low.
Like
honestly,
how low compared to heterosexual?
So heterosexual, you guys fail at about for first marriages.
Or
Second
less.
is down to like, by the
marriage.
third marriage, you pretty much got
What if it's the same woman you divorced that you remarried the third time?
You're an
A,
idiot.
you're an idiot.
David, appreciate you coming on today, buddy.
Thanks, Brian. It's good to be here.
Met you last week. Had a fun talk.
Yes, we did.
How did you guys meet, Brian?
Instagram, because of you.
I was looking through your Instagram and it really caught my attention. The silver wolf? Was
Silver
it?
bullet.
Silver bullet. But then I was also thinking, I'm like, this gentleman would look really good with a top hat on. Talking about the silver bullet.
I'm going to have to do that.
Top hat with your logo.
I like it.
Off
I
to the
like
side with like a little feather coming
Yes.
off the other.
it. Definitely. Well, we got a new logo too, so I can even...
Perfect.
Perfect
And then you don't
opportunity.
even need the logo on the shirt.
Exactly. I think I can have my producer make that happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It'll
So
definitely-
just please give Makan the
All the
creative
credit.
rights.
All the credit.
Thank you. Also, the silver bullet. That's what kind of like got
Sure.
my attention.
You want to know what the silver bullet is?
Yeah.
So in the world of family law, which is basically war at this point
War?
between men and women, the silver bullet is when a woman wants to take control of the kids, the house, all the finances, completely destroy you. She's going to call the local police department, say you are abusive, going to get a police report, going to go into court, file a domestic violence restraining order. And all she has to say is she's afraid of you. Not he hit me, not I'm bruised, not he's violent and terrible. I'm afraid of him. And with that, a judge will issue a temporary restraining order, kicking you out of your house, taking your kids away from you, preventing you from getting your property. And essentially, you have now been determined to be an abuser, and you are cut off at the knees in a divorce and child custody battle. Now you're going to be fighting uphill to try and get more time with your kids, to get custody of your kids. They're going to make you go through things like batter's intervention courses, parenting classes, supervised visitation, co-parenting classes. It's an unbelievably powerful extension of what started off as a great idea, as so many things do, and the unintended consequences of wanting to protect women and children has led to a place where we are basically weaponizing victimhood to the point that men are completely sidelined on essentially some fears.
So how do you prevent that from happening to you? I'm assuming this is all for divorce. Like it's headed to divorce. This is like first step women generally do now.
Absolutely. It's divorce, it's child custody cases. So basically, if you're in a relationship with a woman these days and you have a kid or you're married, you're at great risk of having a restraining order placed on you because that's going to take away your Second Amendment rights because you can't own a gun if you have a DVRO against you. And in the divorce phenomenon, what we're doing is they're being used strategically. It's a tactical move to put the other side on their back foot so that they go into court and essentially, if properly drafted, a domestic violence restraining order is divorce by ambush. It's going to get the house, the kids, the car, the money, and you're going to be out there being like, what do you mean? I never even hit her. And it's like, dude, hitting isn't even close to what domestic abuse is these days. The definition of domestic abuse used to be in the days before O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown Simpson's murder, physical violence. We have now gone from that extreme to the opposite end of the spectrum of coercive control. If you are coercively controlling your partner, that is abuse. That is grounds to kick you out of your house, take your kids, take your property, and tell you you're not a fit parent.
Would a prenuptial agreement help mitigate some of this?
Not at all. Probably going to expedite it because with the prenuptial agreement, we're really only dealing with assets premarital. So what we're looking at is if you're coming into a marriage and you've got a house, or you're coming into a marriage and you've got a lot of stocks and bonds, lots of assets. What we're doing is we're protecting those from the other side, but everything else is still in play. Child support, alimony, custody of the kids, that's all at play. Prenups don't cover that.
Can you get this silver bullet taken off your record?
Depending on the state, yeah, sorta.
We're in California.
Generally not. Don't count on it. Because the reality is, if you've got a domestic violence restraining order, once it's a public record, it's on the internet, nothing ever goes away.
But can it be erased from the court system?
Like sealed?
In theory,
Yes.
yes. In practice, I've never seen it happen.
How do you prevent, like, how do you mitigate when you sense something like this is going to happen? Like, you don't know when. You're just like, oh, shoot. Like, I can feel this happening.
You're supposed to keep your stuff somewhere else the whole time?
Record everywhere you go. Have a witness with you. Like, what's the best play?
So my sarcastic but grains of truth statement is, if you want to lead a happy life, never get married, bank sperm, never have a kid with a woman, lead a happy life.
Got it.
That's the sarcastic yet grains of truth in there. The reality is, oftentimes men will call me and they'll be like, here's what's going on. Our relationship's falling apart. She's not really happy. She's making noises. And I'm like, dude, you need to get out. You need to get out now. You need to grab a bag, get out now.
Just
like, I can't leave my kids. I'm like, dude, here's what's going to happen. She's going to do ABC. You're going to get stuck in jail. You're going to pay $5,000 to get bailed out the next day because it's a $50,000 bail.
And they'll probably stick it to you on a Thursday, which means you're not getting out till Monday.
Usually. I can't do that. She's reasonable. She's never going to do that to me. She's not like that.
Famous last words.
And then they're calling me Wednesday, Thursday. Dude, you got to get me out of this. I'm like, dude, I told you.
Leave.
You're stuck now. You got the restraining order on you.
Can they still do this if you move out? And say you're like emotionally abusive?
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, because you can be emotionally abusive. You can be texting too much. You can be texting too little.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean too little?
Well, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they want to know what's going on and they're trying to communicate with you and you're not communicating enough.
Whose definition?
Courts.
Hers.
Oof. Ooh, shit.
That's emotional abuse because that's the silent
Treatment, right?
bingo, winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's correct. So you can win by not talking. You can win by talking too much. You can lose by not talking. You can lose by talking too much. There's no way.
Is any state better than California?
I'm sorry?
Is there a better state than California?
No.
Well, you're licensed to practice in California, right? As an attorney?
I am.
And you specialize in divorce?
Divorce,
Or
child custody, yeah.
Divorce, child custody.
Which
so you've
these
seen it all,
days-
like the worst of the worst.
27 years, I have seen all kinds of craziness. And the things that people do to each other are unbelievably
Is this the worst?
horrible.
The silver bullet?
I think you were telling me about a mark.
It's the most difficult for men to deal with. The
Well, what's
worst
the
that
pink
I
bullet?
think, the worst that I have seen, in my opinion, was we had a case where she was so angry and resentful and she wanted to really hurt him. She had his 2 dogs put down.
Whoa.
Which, you know, taking somebody's kid in a domestic violence restraining order, bad. I personally am like a dog guy. Like you don't
pretty
screw
low.
with the dog.
Yeah.
Like, come on, they're innocent. What the hell? So that for me was the worst.
That's fucking low.
So what is the opposite of the silver bullet? Like what, I guess, arrows do men have in their quiver to use in, I guess, retaliation to that?
Bank sperm, get a vasectomy, never have a kid with a woman.
So preemptive.
Completely.
Damn.
The vasectomy is
Wait,
probably
when-
the best thing a man can do for himself. Realistically, it's the best $50 in 3 days he's ever going to spend.
But even as single guys going out, I'm married. He's not. But as single guys going out, you still have to worry because there could be women just claiming the same thing, no?
Not only 100%, because it's really easy to get a domestic violence restraining order, and it's very useful if you're trying to extort money from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a leverage point. And then the other thing that single guys have to worry about is the accidental pregnancy. Because if you're successful and
Well, unsuccessful.
No.
Wait, successful in what?
No,
like
no.
getting a girl
If you're a
pregnant? Or?
successful person.
Oh, successful person.
And you are now a target in the dating world because it's child support. Because if she gets pregnant and has the kid, pulls a silver bullet on you, she gets 100% custody of the kid because you're a bad parent by definition. And now you're going to be paying the maximum amount of child support for that child that you have essentially no legal rights to unless you go to court and fight for them.
Well, just for the record, just to set the record clear, he
Yes.
drives a Hyundai, $200 a month on a lease, and he gives me a ride everywhere we
good.
go.
That's
I don't
good.
even have a car. All right,
my Hyundai.
now that we set the ground rules,
All right.
like I don't have a pot to piss in.
That's good.
He doesn't even have piss.
That's good. Okay. That's good. We like that.
Now that we've set the base.
Yeah, so and this
Absolutely.
is not Starbucks. This is just water in a cup. I can't afford Starbucks.
Yes.
Okay,
Understood.
so and these are plastic. They're not anything expensive.
Listen, the show's name is Truth Hurts.
That really hurts.
And I bring a lot of truth to guys, and they
Okay.
don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe me. I can't tell you how many guys over the last 20 years I've had in my office, in my chair, looking at me, and I'm telling them what's going on. I'm telling them, you are set up to get a restraining order. If you don't get out of that house, she's going to pull this on you. You're going to lose the kids.
So just get as much shit as you can in a day and just go.
Absolutely.
And is
Once it's turned, there's no turning back.
it more that when she gets an attorney, that the attorney starts kind of like prepping her and getting her set up of like, this is the route we need to take to get you the most amount of money?
That's almost 100% the case. It's also women talking to women.
So like,
See, men don't share about this stuff. But for this podcast, we would not have had this conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
The reality is, women, it's in the bathroom, it's at the park when they're with their kids, it's at the salon getting their hair done, it's at the salon getting their nails done. It's the nail salon girl telling her, girl, you got to do this to get the most money. It's like, it's just the way they do it.
Damn.
Like they talk about this stuff. They're educated about this stuff. They know their strategy. They've got it worked out. Men don't have strategy. If you go through a divorce, odds are your wife will most likely have met with at least 2 to 4 lawyers.
who's got that much free time?
She's not working. She's a stay-at-home mom, dude. Hello.
She's about to
Are you not with the
she's
program?
about to
Come
have
on
all the
now.
time and money. Okay.
Right?
And girlfriends that are probably single, divorced. that
Who are
like, giving
usually
advice.
single, usually divorced, usually miserable. And what do they want?
Another
Somebody to be
person.
miserable with.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a good episode when she's laughing. That's our indicator.
All right. I guess we're having a great episode. Yeah.
When you get a snort, you're like, wait.
Whoa.
All right, now I got something to
It's
reach
like
for.
the goalpost, like a field
Got
goal.
it. Got it.
The snort is the field goal.
Okay.
Maybe a 2-point conversion.
So essentially, dudes are the deck's not in our favor.
So I've got an entire series called Dude, You're Screwed, where I'm telling dudes like all the things that are going to happen.
Can you
to
tell
them.
us
got the
everything?
snort.
I want to hear everything.
I can't give you everything because
Why?
I haven't gotten done with it. I
We'll
don't have
tag
the
you.
book done.
No, I'm kidding. But just give us some juicy, terrible things that can happen to us. I want to know what we have to look forward to, as men.
So if you're married and you go through a period of time where, and this is kind of normal, the sex life kind of dies.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
For most guys.
Gotcha.
I mean, men like you, it's never going to die. But for some men, it's going to die. And then it picks up. All of a sudden, there's a lot more activity. There's a lot more adventuresomeness.
Oh, someone's cheating.
Dude.
Run.
Red flag warning. You're about to get hit with a domestic violence restraining order because that sex is diversion sex. It's to make you think everything's okay. Okay, the relationship's not great, but I'm still getting it. Therefore, we're okay. That's when you're going to get hit.
So flatline and then,
A spike in the stock market.
Bingo.
okay.
Went up 200 points.
Gotcha. Blood pressure? Or? Got it. And then, so what else can you look like? What other signs?
The biggest one probably happens like 6 months, 9 months, a year before you see it coming. She's pregnant, has a baby. I'm going to take maternity leave. And you're like, cool, great. I'm really enjoying staying home. I think I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Can you just support us? I love you so much. And then there's the occasional, extracurricular fun things that happen to make sure you're going to give her what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
You're being set up. And it's going to take a year, maybe 2 years of, well, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I can't come back to work now. I like doing this. Now I'm going to get you, going to do the silver bullet, going to get you out, but I'm going to make you pay maximum child support, maximum alimony, because she's stay-at-home mom. She's not working. She's got no skills. She can't get hired. No one's going to hire her.
What's your batting average on this theory?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm about 100%. I'm a single gay dude, man. I know women inside and out. The beauty of being gay and as a divorce lawyer is women don't see it coming.
Wait, men can do it to you then?
What are you, crazy?
Well, like, couldn't men do it too? Because you can get like legally married too, no?
Oh, yeah.
So men can do it to men.
Men don't do that shit.
Really? You don't see it in the gay community at all?
Lowest divorce rate around are men.
Well, that makes sense because dudes are dudes. You know what I mean? Like,
I totally, because here's the deal. 2 men get married, they're in a long-term relationship, 3 years in. All right, as with all relationships, sex life just dips just below comatose,
okay.
right? I'm bored. I love you, but I'm bored.
Okay.
I want to go bang that one. I want to have a weekend with that one. Your response? Can I play?
Like, no, there's no drama in the relationship?
Not around that stuff.
Why are you laughing? This is
The
interesting.
look on your face is fucking.
Why? Are you?
Are you just shocked?
I am.
He is, and
Like,
I've heard
why?
this before.
No, because I thought it would be like, you know, miserable like the rest of us, you know? What I
No.
mean? Like, what are you talking about? You looking at that girl? What do you mean?
Men are practical about this stuff. 2 men get together, they're going to have different sex drives. It's understandable. Everybody's different. Every couple has that. One's got a higher sex drive, but they still have a foundation of love and attachment. The one with the higher sex drive says, hey, I got a higher sex drive. I want to go bang it out with this little pool boy. I'm not planning on leaving you. Can I just go do that? And you're like, we need to have a discussion. Here are the ground rules. It's the 50-mile rule. It's the don't ask, don't tell rule.
Wait.
It's
What's
the,
the 50-mile rule?
I need to, because we might be able to overlap and apply some of this in our relationship. What is a 50-mile
no,
rule?
you can't because you have women involved.
But let me see what this
Let him
50-mile
dream.
rule.
Let him dream.
Let's dream. What is this 50-mile rule? It sounded cool.
50-mile rule, you're in a relationship and it's like, okay, you can have sex with other people so long as it's more than 50 miles from where we live.
No, it won't work with me.
Dude, it's not going to work with you,
No,
period.
women, it doesn't work.
No.
50 miles is too close. That's like Orange County.
Dude, it could be 5,000 miles. She's not going to be happy.
No, for sure not. No.
Right. It's not going to be a rule.
Your dream world
But
just
in-
went in the trash.
So
100%.
men on men, 50 miles that's like a common standard. Like it's a no questions asked. Like
Don't ask, don't tell works. Absolutely. Because it's just sport. It's play. It's nothing.
Nothing
There's no
emotional, no
commitment
cheating.
happening there. That's why women get really insulted because they're like, oh, you're in love with them. No. You hired hookers. You did not love them. It was a biological need. Like, get over it. If women understood that more, they would last longer in marriages. Divorce rate would go down even further. And they'd actually end up better in the relationship because the men would be happy. They'd continue to pay for everything. They'd still be around to take out the garbage. Like, I don't understand why they get divorced personally. It never really makes sense to me. It's like,
not wrong.
if that's
you're not wrong at all. You're not wrong. Like you're hitting every like logical point
right.
for men.
Yeah.
But women, Michelle,
They don't get it.
you want to burn the place down right now.
100%.
I understand.
You understand because you could turn on the logical hat, right? But not the emotional hat. Because I think emotional hat, I was watching a reality show with my wife this weekend. Actually, we binge watched. We watched like 24 hours in 3
Is
days.
that why you guys stayed up till 3 in the morning?
Yeah. She missed workouts. We missed breakfast. We missed brunch.
Hey, but we made it to In-N-Out.
We made it to In-N-Out. We went right back home because our eyes were hurting. We needed like an hour break to go back. But anyway, we're watching this and I'm seeing like how girls are. There's like 8 girls and 8 guys in a house. It's a Love Island type of a
You
thing.
watched that shit?
It's a different one. It's a different
the
one.
Persian one?
He's with his wife.
Yeah, I'm with my wife.
He didn't choose it.
But I got sucked in and I was like, now I'm invested. Now I want to
Right.
know what happens. So all these girls are like marking the guy. And then I was like, not thinking anything about it. She goes, look, you see that? She wants to say that she put her, she cut his hair because she's
Right.
dating someone else and she wants to put her mark on him and tell her that he was thinking about her. Like all this psychological game going on with
Right.
women about like marking the men and who touched him first and who got to him first. And like, it was wild.
Yeah. It's all the games playing. It's the stuff I hate. I've never understood it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why are you playing games with this stuff? And they have to like have these little like, oh, we're the best friend girls. As soon as they turn around, they're bashing on each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
So 50-mile rule. This is really cool.
50-mile rule. Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell. But does don't ask, don't tell apply to less than 50 miles?
In some couples, because this is one rule. This is a different rule.
Do they overlap? Do they
Sometimes.
Okay. So you got don't ask, don't tell, 50 miles. 50 miles is like a given then pretty much. If someone says, hey, I'm going to Palm Springs. No, that's 20. How many miles is Palm Springs?
Far.
So if I'm going to Palm Springs this weekend, that means like,
it's party time.
Party time. Okay. What are some other rules?
Play together.
Okay.
There's throuples, threesomes.
Oh, shit.
This
Okay.
guy, the light bulbs are going off.
This is
Hey,
why.
think about how many less divorces there would be if you were allowed to have a threesome with your wife and another person.
Which is above board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Just
the
that alone, I
divorce
think,
rate
would-
in the gay community?
It's low.
Like
honestly,
how low compared to
it's,
heterosexual?
Okay, so heterosexual, you guys fail at about a 70% rate for first marriages.
And second is probably more, right? Or
Second
less?
is down to like 60.
So 70% first
By the
marriage.
third marriage, you pretty much got a fighting shot.
Okay. What if it's the same woman you divorced that you remarried the third time?
You're an
A,
idiot.
you're an idiot.
I know people that have done that.
You
That's
already
why I'm
did. Me
asking.
too. We had a guy. We did his divorce 3 times, the same woman.
I know people
I'm like,
that have done
"Dude,"
this.
And this is the best part. We finally get them finally divorced. He comes in to do some estate
Dating
planning.
again.
He's like, I need to do my will. I'm like, oh, okay. Who are you going to give all your stuff to? Her. I'm like, why did you divorce her?
So
It was crazy.
this is hilarious.
Did he actually make it all the way through like the dissolution and then
Yeah. Yeah, they finally got all the way done. And then he says, oh, I'm going to give it all to her anyways. I'm like, why did we do all of that? I mean, you paid for it, so fine. but
Yeah.
What the hell?
So you got 70% first marriage, 60% second marriage chance of divorce.
heterosexual?
That's heterosexual.
Heterosexual.
And then,
Third time?
Third time, it's like 50%.
okay. As opposed to?
I've done, in 27 years, I've done 2 gay divorces.
Wow.
Both of which were, basically, we were like doing the paperwork. There was really nothing to fight over. Because they're like, we have a house, we're splitting the house, we're done.
Wow.
Yeah. Men are reasonable.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Now, lesbians, that's a different situation.
Really?
Different situation.
What's that divorce rate?
Through the roof.
Is it really?
Through the roof, yeah.
Higher than heterosexual?
Higher than- yeah.
I would say it probably is. It probably is higher overall. Listen,
Do they silver bullet each other? Like all jokes aside? Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's called the pink bullet on that.
now you're catching up. Good.
Yes.
All right. They do when there's children involved and there's custody. When we have a lesbian divorce and there's children involved, that's like an annuity. Those go on forever. They fight like unbelievably over that. They're never happy.
Damn.
Well, listen, if you look at just the numbers of domestic violence, it's a good indicator. It's a good window into society. Heterosexual numbers are here. Lesbian numbers are here. Gay couples are here. Men are supposed to be more violent, but who's really the problem?
I'm not walking
not
into
answering.
that.
I'm
not
answering.
walking- I'm not walking into that.
I'm answering it because truth hurts. The reality is women are more aggressive and assertive. They fight dirty. They fight with their words. And as a consequence of that, they have a much higher domestic violence rate. They're entitled. They're empowered. Woman can hit you.
Yeah, I just would leave.
Right.
I wouldn't
You
even
can't
call the
hit
cop.
her.
No, absolutely not.
She can do whatever she wants to hurt you.
Yeah,
And she's going to call the cops and say, he hit me. Who's going to jail?
me.
Right. What does that do to women? Completely empowers them to be abusive. They don't have to learn the limits of their abilities. Men, we all have to learn the limits of our abilities. I have to size you up before I decide to hit you. I have to know either I'm going to land this thing and actually be able to like knock that guy out,
Or you're gonna-
I'm poking a tiger and I better be ready to wrestle with that tiger
Or run.
really fast. Right? Women don't have those experiences. Men moderate our behavior. We moderate our emotions, our actions way better than women, particularly in the world of domestic abuse. because of exactly that reason.
Do you find in lesbian couples that the kids get more effective just because it's a battle from both sides?
They're definitely more affected. But children raised by lesbians generally not doing as well as children raised just by single fathers.
Single fathers?
Single fathers. Single fathers are as effective at raising children as a functional heterosexual couple.
I thought single
and
fathers would not be that great. Because from what I remember studying in college, that a divorce to a child is like a death of a parent. The amount of psychological damage it does to a child. So I just assumed that if it's a single parent raising it and you're going to work and like you're not going to be able to provide as much. So I thought maybe two male parents versus one would probably be better.
It is. The long-term studies I think are going to show at the end of the day, gay male couples actually are probably the most effective at raising kids. They have the most amount of money.
Yeah, dual
They have the
income.
least amount of conflict. They both know how to set boundaries. They both know how to be in touch with their emotions. They both know how to nurture and discipline at the same time. Whereas mothers tend to overly nurture children when they're single parents because they feel guilty because you don't have a dad. I'm sorry. Let them do whatever. And they're not setting boundaries. They're not disciplining properly. So as a consequence, you've got kids that kind of run wild. Whereas with single fathers and dual fathers, you have two people or one person in that household who's like, hey, world's hard, man. You need to like learn how to show up, get your chores done, do things on time, perform. Your word is your bond. The lessons that actually make people productive in society. Whereas if you've got single moms who are like, go play some more games. I don't know why you're this way. I can raise a child. I can raise a man. No, you can't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way.
Dude, 27 years is a long time to be in that field.
Yes.
They have some interesting stories to share with us.
You said some guy named Mark or something.
No, you can't mention names.
I can.
You can
You can do, yeah.
Mark's my client who's just like, I love this guy, but he is such a just mess.
Is he straight?
He's got a slight, yes.
Okay.
Much to everyone's dismay.
Okay.
Including his own.
Okay.
Because he's got a slight stripper addiction. And if you know anything about strippers,
I don't know anything about strippers.
that's good. Let me tell you.
What is a stripper?
A woman who takes her clothes off for money
Okay.
should indicate to you what that person is going to be like and how they're going to approach relationships. Everything is transactional. I'll do this for that. They usually come from backgrounds where they've been molested as kids. They have a lot of internalized trauma. They're generally borderline personality disordered people. Borderlines are the most difficult to work with from a psychological perspective and from a just human relations perspective. Borderlines have essentially no heart. They have no sense of ego, no sense of who they are as a person. They're kind of like shells. They're hollow. And so they're trying to always create the reality that will make them feel the way that they think they want to feel. What this means is you're not wearing a black shirt. I don't like black. That's a blue shirt. And you're looking at it going, it's black. I don't know why you're lying. I mean, this is the sort of stuff they actually pull.
Wow.
Like actual objective facts, they ignore. So that's who you're dealing with strippers. Mark and his little stripper addiction is on his...
Wait, the strippers have this disorder or the Mark
strippers.
personality?
No, the strippers have that disorder.
So okay, got it. So strippers have this personality disorder. They've
Correct.
been molested
As kids. Which is why they're transactional about relationships. It's why they're doing stripping.
So prostitution is probably the same thing, right? Just a little bit more
Same
or
thing.
same?
Absolutely the same thing.
Okay.
Although I will say this. I've represented a couple high-end escorts. I mean like high-end. Like $25,000 weekend high-end.
Jesus.
I know a story about one.
And,
Bel Air Hotel.
And I will tell you, those women have their act together. Like that song Fancy by Reba McEntire, that kind of woman. She had her act together. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Was she
and
worth
was in charge.
$25,000 a weekend?
I don't do
From
women.
just from just like analyzing and like kind of sizing her up. You're like, overpriced or yeah, it's worth.
Dude, I'm gay. Women are overpriced, period.
I know, but like if you were comparing, I mean, you see a lot of clients and you're like, this bitch is getting $10,000 a month alimony versus $25,000.
I'd say take the $25,000. Let's hit it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's definitely cheaper in the long run.
They say if it flies, floats, or fucks, you rent it.
Rent it, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Why you guys look at me?
I don't know.
Did you buy a plane?
2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
You
go.
drive a Kia, bro. And you give me a ride. Hyundai. Whatever the fuck it is.
I like my Hyundai.
It's amazing. But you were saying, so $25,000. But they have their shit
The reason I
together.
brought her up is because she had her shit together. She was really stable. She really understood what she was doing. And she looked at it from the perspective of, here's a lonely guy who wants to have the girlfriend experience. He's busy doing other things. The reason why I charge so much money is I only want to deal with essentially stable, busy people. So her clientele was very high end, not very likely to be abusive, easy to enjoy. All they do is they want to have somebody to like go out on the town with, have dinner. Yeah, the sex is there, but honestly, from what she was telling me, the sex was not the important part for him. It was actually having
emotional
companionship.
connection?
Yeah.
And was this a divorce situation or she was just like getting.
We were dealing with some custody issues from her kid.
Oh, okay. And then so going back to Mark and
Yeah.
his stripper addiction.
Yes.
What can you tell us?
Do you remember that advice I said about getting a vasectomy?
Yeah?
Would have saved him about $100,000.
He got a stripper pregnant?
No, you got 2 strippers pregnant.
Oh.
Does he have kids prior to the strippers?
No.
Oh, shit. So he's got like.
2 baby mamas who are just out to milk
Drain
him for
him.
all of his money.
Damn.
Big mistake.
Did he get DVs on any of them? Domestic violence on any of them?
Of course.
On both of them?
Of course.
Oh my god.
It's part of the game.
Damn. Did
Dude,
these
it's
both
just
kids
like-
get, did the both kids get created the same night?
No, thank God. That didn't happen.
He didn't live with either, though.
Oh, he did with one of them.
Damn, Mark is sounds like he parties fun. Like a lot.
Mark's a character.
If his name is Marty, we'd call him Party Marty.
That's
But it's Mark, so we got to come up with another name. Oh man, can
He's
you
kinda
ask him
like-
to change his name to Marty, so we can call him Party Marty?
I can ask.
Okay.
Just do a DBA.
He understands transactional things. Maybe if we offered him something.
Party Marty. We'll take him out. We'll take him out to the strip clubs.
No,
That can be his alter ego.
no, bad idea.
Party Marty's coming
bad
out.
idea. Yeah.
That's
Then you'll be
interesting.
calling Dave, and it's going to be a different problem.
No, we call him beforehand. But we're like, listen, Dave, we're taking Party Marty out, and it's going to be a wild night. What should we not do? Because this is what we want to do. What should we not do?
Well, first off, let's leave all the drugs at home.
Done. Yeah, don't
Okay.
commit a crime when you're committing a crime. Got
Absolutely,
it. Got
definitely.
it. One crime at a time.
Absolutely. Big fat retainers for the lawyers because they're going to need them.
Yeah.
You know.
What is your typical retainer for a typical DV case?
So it depends very much on what the factors are. Usually we start at $5,000 for like basic stuff.
Mhm.
But once we're getting into like, we know that there's going to be child custody issues. We know there's going to be experts hired. We know they're probably going to hire a private investigator. It's going to go up to 25,000.
Got it. So the minimum cost is like 25, essentially.
No, 20 minimum is $5,000.
But it'll get up there.
But you
pretty-
can easily get up there. We've had cases where we literally spent $100,000.
just because of the DV and
Mm-hmm.
wow. And probably the women didn't even want any money at the end. They just wanted to make the guy suffer, right?
Have you met women?
No.
Clearly.
I only have one.
They want the money. They always want the money.
Got it.
When in doubt, go for the money.
This is depressing. I mean, I'm glad I'm married. But again, it's not
Today.
scary. Yeah, today. That's scary.
Do you have kids?
No.
How old are you?
How old do I look?
I'm going to say 36.
I love this guy. I love this guy. 45. I'll be 46 in 2 months.
All right. You still have time to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Good.
But I have to like put some in the fridge beforehand.
Yeah. Not a bad idea. It's only $150 a year.
Storage
That's
fees.
Yeah.
Storage
That's
fees.
pretty cheap.
Yeah. Usually you want to bank, 3 or 4 loads. So you're probably looking like
Knocked out in an hour.
600.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
No, you got to space it out 4 days.
Oh, you do because you need fresh batch.
Yeah.
Each one.
Yeah. You want to have
Have you
full-
done
You want
that?
to have full
Yes.
loads.
Have you?
No. Why would I?
I don't know. You don't want kids?
I'm 58.
I don't want kids.
I'm 58 years old. I have no real desire to have kids at this point in my life.
He'll adopt another dog.
Exactly.
So
Or I'll adopt another pool boy. Nothing wrong with
are
that.
you married? David, are you married?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not married. Okay. So you do like take your own advice. You're not married. You don't have kids.
Right.
And vasectomy or no?
No.
Okay.
No
He
need.
doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about it.
Listen, the last woman I slept with was in 1989. And I should probably send her flowers.
She's probably gonna. Yeah. What? 1980. Does she know that she was the last one, and then you went gay?
No, I was gay beforehand, and we were just fooling around.
Oh, okay.
We just had this really
You should have
flirty
messed with her. You
relationship.
should have been like, it's because of you I went gay.
Nah.
And then she would have been like, what? What's wrong with me?
Yeah, that wasn't going to work.
In the 80s. In the 80s.
Yeah, that was not going to work.
Really?
She knew. Yeah, she
Okay.
knew. We all knew.
We had Cosmo here last week. We're waiting for his episode to drop on June 3rd.
Okay.
So that we can, Gay Pride week.
Yeah, that's
and
good. Like that.
Put it up. But yeah, he was telling us some funny stories about what goes on in the parties. Michelle, remember Cosmo's wild parties?
There was like 20 snorts that episode.
Oh, yeah. So you said you've been practicing law for 27 years.
Yes.
Did you always practice in California? Are you originally from California?
I was born in Northern California, a little town called Orinda, up in the East Bay, and went to school on the East Coast with a degree in philosophy, mathematics, and beer drinking. And my brother was 14 years older than me. He said, "What do you want to do with your life?" I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "Well, come to Los Angeles, spend the summer, work in my law office. You'll figure it out." I thought 3 months, Los Angeles, how bad can it be in the summer? That turned into 3 years. And it was like, okay, time to go to law school. Went to law school,
Which one did you go to?
University of West LA.
Okay.
And when I graduated, my partner was like, "What do you want to practice?" And I said, "I want to do business. What do you want to do?" And he said, "I want to do family law." Well, I'm the marketing guy. I'm supposed to go out and like be the rainmaker, beat the bushes, bring in the business. So I'd go to the Rotary Club and the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure those exist anymore.
I
I
think
think
they
they
do.
do.
Do they? Okay.
Not as popular though.
Definitely not as popular. And I would go and I would do my little dog and pony show on, this is what I am. Here's my firm. And nobody wanted to talk to me.
And it was divorce law?
No,
No,
I was doing
just
business.
family? Oh,
and
business.
nobody wanted to talk to me about business. But I would say my partner does family law, and all of a sudden they would bum rush me. It would be like, I need to get a divorce. I need to lower my child support. I got to get out of this alimony stuff. All I knew really quickly was my partner's calendar is filling up with all of these clients.
Business
I've got
partner or
nothing.
relationship partner?
Just business.
Okay.
I don't think his wife would approve.
Oh, okay. No, because
I mean, she might. She likes me a lot.
it's confusing because a lot of times like we go out and I'm like, oh, my partner is coming. Like,
Yeah.
can we sit down? And they look at me. I'm like, business partner. They're like, oh, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sometimes like when you say partner, I'm like, business partner or relationship partner?
Right.
Just trying to like put the pieces together.
So I wanted to do business. My partner wanted to do family law. I thought, ooh, gross. His calendar gets full. It's so full, it spills into my calendar. Before I know it, I've now got a full calendar and I'm doing domestics. I'm doing divorces. I'm doing child custody stuff.
Are you doing men and women?
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning, we had whoever walked in the door. And about 3 years in, I got to the point where the women were just driving me crazy.
So 24 years ago, you said
Just about.
just dudes.
Yeah. Because, they walk in and they want me to be their best friend, their stylist, their lawyer, their therapist, their father confessor. They want me to destroy him, turn him into the IRS, put him in jail. If you could kill him, that'd be great. And
they
I don't
actually
have
say
any
that?
money, so
Get it all
you
from
got to
him.
go for him. I'm like, wait a second. I got to do all this work for you. I got to get paid by him, and you're annoying.
So you're taking it on a flyer with
So
no guarantee.
I'm like, we did that for a while. I got to the point where like I had all these cases, and I had this one woman who came in, and she had the sweetheart deal of a divorce beforehand. She was getting like 10 grand a month from her first husband, goes to Vegas, gets married, comes back, gets hit with divorce papers almost immediately, or modification papers almost immediately from the
Alimony
first
gone?
husband who's like, I'm not paying alimony anymore.
Yeah.
He's celebrating. She's like, how did he find out? I'm like, hello.
Public
You went to
record.
Vegas. He hired a private investigator to follow you. So, and she's like, you have to fix this. And she's screaming at me in the office. This isn't fair. It's not fair. You have to fix this. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't deal with women anymore. Like, this is just, you had a good deal. You're an idiot. Go away.
Has your stress gone down by making that decision 24 years ago?
Significantly. And it's gotten to the point now where even really crazy, angry clients, I don't take. I'm just not dealing with them. It's not worth it at this point in my life.
What made you want to start the dad's law school?
Well, sitting in court for 27 years, watching dads get destroyed is quite the education. You know, I saw so many dads walk in, be like, I'm a great dad. I want my 50% custody. And the judge is like, well, mom's telling me you're this horrible, negligent person who doesn't know anything about his kids. You don't even know their shoe size. It's always the shoe size for some reason.
What's your kid's shoe size?
8.5.
Which one?
Maddie.
What's the Cameron's?
Socks. He's 8 months old, bro.
Just checking.
I'm not putting
Dude.
shoes on that kid.
Right. This man knows his stuff.
I don't have kids.
Stay that way.
And I get him 12-month-old size clothing.
Okay.
Good move. Nice. Thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Fuckers grow quick.
Exactly. Yes, they do.
And they eat.
So I'm spending all this time watching dads who I want to like jump up and be like, shut up. You're about to talk yourself out of a win. Or if you would just say this, you could win.
And you're standing next to
And
them,
I'm-
or you're in the gallery?
I'm in the gallery and I'm just like, oh, it's so frustrating. And after 20 years, I'm like, I got to do something. And I started noodling around some ideas, and Dad's Law School came out of that. And now it's online courses, regular support group, WhatsApp group, trainings, new book, all designed to help dads get more time to know what they're doing when they're going into court, to tell the judge more than I'm a great dad. Because if you just say that, you're not really saying anything. You
Actually,
really got to say more.
I read the book this weekend, and the stuff that's in there, your attorney's not telling you.
Yeah.
What stuff?
Keeping a diary of all the events you do with your kid during your time, documenting everything, making sure school, knowing the teacher status, just
Being involved.
most dads are involved.
Yeah.
But
But
nobody
like document it so you
nobody
remember how
documents
involved
it.
you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the things is they don't know that that's the stuff they need to tell the judge. So you've got a lot of dads who are representing themselves. They know the information, but nobody has said, if you tell the judge this, you're counteracting mom's claim that you're negligent, that you're absent, that you don't know anything about the kid. And so that's why I created this book, because in the back, I've got a kid inventory. It's 123 questions of stuff most dads know. Just like get them thinking about it. And now they can write a declaration. They can write a letter to the judge that says, here's what I know about my kid. Here's why I'm a great dad. And so we put a sample document in the back that
Donald Duck.
outlines all of that.
What'd you say?
Donald Duck.
Daffy Duck.
What's Daffy Duck?
Well, I didn't use an actual sample. So I used like Daffy Duck and
123 Main Street.
yeah.
Just you know,
Okay.
a court
It's all
declaration.
placeholder.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. That's like the filler.
Yeah, exactly.
You got
Did you watch Looney Tunes growing up? Is that?
100%.
Well, that's where Daffy Duck's from. Looney Tunes.
Have you found that by starting these groups, though, more men are like able to just express their feelings and like explain the struggles they're going through and just having a safe space? Because most dads take it on the chin.
100%. What I've
It's
noticed
like
is
DD
that
instead of AA.
by bringing dads
Divorce
together,
dads.
by bringing dads together and creating a space where they can start sharing what's going on, they're venting their feelings of loss, of loneliness, of feeling very impotent going into court, because now they're starting to talk to each other about, well, I did this and I did that, and now they're working with each other to get ready for court. And so they're building each other up. And as a consequence of that, when they go into court, they're more effective, they're more confident, they're more capable. They're less likely to go in and have one of those emotional breakdowns when she's over here being like, he's a drug addict, alcoholic, abuser. The guy's over here going like, oh yeah, they told me she was going to say this. I need to keep my cool. So the judge sees that I'm cool. She's acting up. Versus she's acting up. He pipes off, says something. Now the judge is like, oh, she's right. You are angry. So what we're seeing is that dads, when they're coming together, are becoming much more effective in court. And the other thing that's really important is many dads become really depressed. You know, they've lost their girlfriend, they've lost their kids, they're financially destroyed.
Lost their house.
They lost their house. During the relationship, they probably lost most of their friends because she didn't really like them. You know, that guy's a loser. You're like, we don't need to associate with him. They start pushing away all of the friends and family so that you're only socializing with her friends, which is
She
abuse,
can
by the
take
way.
away.
And then when she kicks you out, you've got nobody. You're lonely, you're isolated, and you're depressed. Well, that's a recipe for suicide. There's a high level of suicide among dads who are going through divorce and child custody cases. by bringing them together, by giving them an outlet, I'm hoping to make a small dent to terminate that.
Who do we have that was a pickup artist that was helping depressed guys pick up more chicks? I think we should have him join your group to help those guys. Well, no, picking up chicks is what led them to this problem. Never mind.
Yes, we're not
Never
doing
mind.
I was like,
that was a big
I
problem.
was waiting for it. I'm like, sounds like a horrible.
I was
idea.
thinking if, you got a bunch of guys that are recently divorced and they're depressed, you get a pickup artist
David
that teaches
doesn't
them
want
how to
them.
pick up girls.
He doesn't
Yeah,
want to
doesn't
represent
them-
him in another issue. He wants
exactly
it to be done.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
I want them to like get their kids back. Let's go build a business together. Get a dog. Go be happy.
Gotcha.
This is why you need a dog.
100%. Dogs are the best. Way more loyal than a woman. Tell me I'm wrong.
We can't.
How loyal Charlotte?
Very.
That's what I thought. There's so much information.
I know. There's so much. What else do you have in this magic book?
Dude, it's a really easy read. I read
I
it in
know,
like 2 hours.
And that's exactly the point. Because if that book was
dude, if-
400 pages, you'd never read it.
I read it as my kid was napping.
That's great. That's exactly what I want to hear. Did you like the quotes? Did you like the
I
little
did.
motivational
So
Can we get
quotes?
some like quotes? And it was only one
Sure.
book. I didn't get a book.
This is your book. You
I
didn't
know,
have
but I
one.
want you to get,
So one of the quotes that's one of my favorites is, through every father's eyes, every child is extraordinary.
Okay. I have a quote. Talk to people that pay you.
Are you a lawyer?
No. We can share quotes. Let's go.
Through a father's dedication, ordinary days become extraordinary memories. And that's important because when you're going into court and you're arguing to the judge that you're an active, engaged father, you need to be able to tell the judge, what are you doing with your kid? So one of the things we say is get one of those like big desk calendars at Staples or Office Depot for like $4. And every time you got your kid, mark down what you did. And this is the key. Take the receipts from what you've done, movie tickets,
Staple it.
amusement park stuff, and staple it to it so that in 6 months or a year, when you've got to go into court, you've got all of your evidence in one place. So now you can take that, use it to show to the judge that you actually are engaged. You've got more than just, I said we did this. Here's the actual proof, Your Honor. Here's the receipt. And then you layer on top of that, here's pictures of us at Splash Mountain. Here's pictures of us at the water park. Judges can look at that and be like, okay, you are engaged. So mom's now full of whatever when she says you're not.
What about after the divorce is finished? Do you still have to do that? Because so forever, essentially.
Essentially, yes, because child custody and child support are always modifiable.
Within
there's-
X amount of, is there like a time frame or can someone go back every week?
You can't go back every week realistically unless there's something that's happened. But if you're in the situation where your ex has become a substance abuse user and every week there's an incident, every week they're driving drunk or every week the cops are being called, yeah, you're going in front of the judge to fix that. And the good news is if you do that 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, the judge is probably going to be like, okay, we have a real problem here. Maybe we should change custody and give the kids to you and let that person go get sober.
So up until the kids are 18, it doesn't matter if you divorced 15 years ago. If there's 3 more years left in that child support, they can still drag you back in court, right? And modify. And
Minimum once a year.
what about alimony? When does that usually fall off? And what's the rule on alimony?
Alimony is its own weird nightmare. The reality is we use 16 different factors under California Family Code 4320 to figure out like who's entitled to it, how much, why, and for how long. So generally a marriage is under 10 years, it's going to be half the length of the marriage. So you're married 8 years, you're going to pay 4 years of alimony. Then we're going to factor in like her income, her ability to work, your ability to work, health insurance, health issues, who's taking time off to raise kids, all these different factors that are going to go in to figure out how much you really have to pay. The goal in California is everybody should be self-supporting after a certain period of time. And it's rooted in kind of some old 1950s mentality that's slowly changing. More and more men are taking alimony when they should because women are earning more these days. It's hard to get a man to accept spousal support.
Oh, to get it for themselves.
Yes. I've had many clients who are completely entitled to it. There's a huge gap in the incomes. It would be a very nice monthly base, and they won't do it. I can't do that. I don't need her for money. I'm like,
Yeah,
you're an
it is
idiot.
pretty
Take
embarrassing.
the money.
Though. It is pretty. I wouldn't take it.
Why is it embarrassing?
I don't know. It just feels like.
Well, you should probably explore that. That sounds like a personal travel you should go on.
Really?
Yes.
It is a
Because
little
think
embarrassing.
about it. Why is it okay for one person to live off someone else when they're no longer married, but it's not okay for you to live off somebody when you're no longer married?
I just feel like men can take the abuse of work and like the stress and the struggles of making money because we're just like, I don't care. Just water off a duck's back. I have to go into work at 4 a.m. I'll go. I got to stay until like midnight. I'll go in. Oh, I broke a bone. Fuck it. We'll go to the hospital in a little bit. Like, let me finish what I got to do. You know what I mean? Like men can do that. But I just feel like women are like,
I'm so looking
Meh.
forward to his reply.
I have a hangover. I don't feel like going to work today. Or I don't feel like doing
He's
this.
got evil smoke.
No?
This is going to be great.
You know, that is exactly why.
Oh. Here it comes.
It's exactly why women weaponize victimhood. Men are abused more than women. Men have a much higher rate of death in the workplace.
Because they pile on more shit.
It's because of that attitude that keeps the system the way it is. It's continuing to empower women who are weaponizing their incompetence. And I think that's BS. I think it's really unfair to the men because I think guys do exactly that. They do cowboy up. They do show up. They do perform, and they should be recognized for that. And we should not be making them feel less than for taking what they're entitled to in an equal system. Because remember, the feminists, they wanted equality. Well, guess what? Here's your damn equality. All of a sudden, no longer their game. Oh, no, it's different. We're special. I got special for you, lady, right here.
His name's Jimmy.
I was thinking instead of top hat, maybe a cowboy hat.
No, top hat. 100% a top hat.
We got to see both options.
Dave,
He wants a top hat
Top hat.
because of the mustache. I
Yeah.
get it. It's-
100%.
I love
With
top
the
hat.
cane or without the cane?
No, top hat, man. He doesn't need a
top hat
cane.
with-
no cane, just top hat.
Bow tie, bow tie.
Bow tie?
Yeah.
Can I get the bow tie with like the bird's feathers?
Yes.
That work for you? Okay. I
Or the
got that
Texas
already.
one. You know the string. What are those strings? The strings called?
The talons?
Yeah.
Tassels?
That's a stripper.
No.
That's a stripper.
I don't know. One of those. The stringy things.
Oh my God.
I like these stories. Do you have more Mark stories? Party Marty stories?
So
The
I had this,
raunchier, the better.
so I had this client who was a sheriff and he trained the bomb sniffing dogs.
That's a pretty important job.
Came out of the military where he worked with dogs, moves into the sheriff's department to train the bomb sniffing dogs. Kind of has some great credentials. Not so bright sometimes when it comes to where he puts his unit. Again,
We're talking
This
about the
one's-
unit that we're thinking about?
that's the one.
Okay. We call that Jimmy.
Ah, okay. Yes. Well, Jimmy got this guy in trouble.
Jimmy always gets people in trouble. So he's got a mind of his own.
100%.
What did
So
Jimmy
this
do?
guy who is former military, now in the law enforcement world, starts dating a porn star. Okay. Porn star,
That's not
stripper.
bad.
We're talking same thing.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Both borderline.
Same, but different.
Yeah. True. But borderline. They're both horrible. Her specialty
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
as a porn star was the storylines of my husband pimps me out.
Oh, shit.
But it's a movie. We've seen these.
My husband pimps me out and he gets off by knowing and watching me sleep with somebody else.
Got it.
Okay, good. Listen, I live in LA. Actors are actors, whatever. I don't care. I've known more than enough porn stars. Judges in Orange County, not so much.
Very strict in Orange
Not
County.
so much. You would think. So she decides to pull the silver bullet on this military Leo. What's the abuse? He pimps me out
Oh my God.
to people, and that's the way, and he's abusing me because he's getting off watching me, knowing I'm sleeping with other people.
Bro, you're
Well,
toast.
Now, the script was like almost identical.
Did you get him out of this?
No,
Oh shit.
because this is Orange County. He looks like a horrible human being. He looks like a monster. They take the kids away. They make them do the supervised visits, the whole 9 yards. She goes off her meds.
It gets worse.
She goes crazy.
She was literally on meds.
Literally on meds.
Okay.
She's bipolar, borderline, goes off her meds, goes crazy. Child Protective Services gets called. They swap the kids back. They give the kids to the father because now mom's in danger. Okay. 6 months later, what do you think happens?
Reversal.
Takes her meds.
She gets back on her meds, files another domestic violence restraining order, claims new abuse, that he's harassing her, stalking her, terrorizing her, doing all this stuff to the kids.
How does he
Judge
perform his...
swaps the kids again.
He's a cop though.
He's a cop.
So how's he going to work with a gun?
There's an exemption. You are allowed, if for work as a Leo, you're allowed to have possession of a gun. You have to turn it in every night, but you're allowed.
Oh, Leo law enforcement. I'm thinking you're saying his zodiac sign is Leo. This whole time I'm like, what does Leo have to do with it? I'm a Virgo. It doesn't make any sense. You're talking about law enforcement. Okay, I got
Oh my
it.
gosh.
I got it. Now
really
it makes more
smart in
sense.
business.
Makes more sense. Yeah.
It's clear Cosmo has rubbed off on him because he's going to astrology on this
Rubbed
stuff.
off,
You know.
Got it.
So this happens like 3 times. The kids go back and forth because mom goes on her meds, off her meds, on her meds, off her meds.
But why does the judge
Finally,
allow
the
that?
judge, because judges are always looking to protect their ass.
Got it.
You know, the judge. There's no judge in America that wants to be the next judge that lets OJ off.
But if someone's going on and off their mental medication, isn't that a risk to the children?
Absolutely, 100%.
I just don't understand why the judge would like. Okay, first time, second time maybe. After that, I'm like,
She had a nice rack. What do you want from me? Like,
Was she $25,000 a weekend?
I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is she was crazy.
so how'd this end?
Yes.
Eventually, he is so depressed, he sends me 2 DVDs.
DVDs?
DVDs. One DVD is for me because I'm doing a documentary about men who are victims of domestic violence.
Okay.
And one DVD is for his kids when they turn 18 because he's planning on taking himself out.
Oh, shit.
That's how bad it got. Eventually, the judge, one more time, flips the kids back to him and is like, no mas, note in the file. We're not doing this anymore. Those kids are staying with that dad forever.
What's the timeline after the divorce was finalized that this was going on? Like how many years after?
This was 4 years, 5 years of just craziness.
Holy shit. So you
Yeah.
really can't even like take pictures of your hot 22-year-old new girlfriend and send it to your ex just to make her jealous after the divorce.
Yeah, it's not a really good
Like
idea.
you don't want to do any of that.
No.
Wow.
I mean, you might want to put that on the alimony checks. There's a guy that did that, but
I've seen
But I
one
wouldn't-
like write things in the memo like for, explicit.
yeah, you never want to do that.
Got it.
That's going to get used against you.
Gotcha. So just be on your best behavior until the kids are 18.
Get a vasectomy. Never get married.
After,
never have
I
a
mean,
kid.
yeah.
Never have a kid with a woman.
Shit. This is horrible.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. Like the situation. Like all joking aside, the dynamics of men and women in today's society are so imbalanced. I don't really understand why men are getting married.
How do you
don't know
balance
how
it?
to fix this until men start standing up for themselves and don't feel that they're abused going to work the way you just said, the way that they're not standing up for themselves, taking support when they should. Because what that does is it continues the system. If more men stood up and said, you know what, I want to get my alimony, women would all of a sudden get organized and be like, hey, we need to rewrite this law. This is getting out of control now. Like we can't be paying alimony. And then it would change. Until that happens, it's not going to change.
Is it different with male judges versus female judges? Like, are the male a little bit more lenient towards men, or is it just all against men in court?
No, I think the male judges are more lenient towards the women.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
shit.
The female judges tend to be a little bit more like, I see the game she's playing. You've given me enough.
'cause-
You've given me enough. I can see past for bullshit.
Is there more women judges? At least.
We're getting more of them.
Okay.
We're getting more of them. You know, it's changing a lot. The problem with family law is this: it's the lowest rung for judges generally. They come in, they get dumped there, which is exactly wrong in my mind, because family law is very complex. I have to, as a family law lawyer, I have to know bankruptcy, criminal, tax, real estate, the family code, the evidence code, the discovery code. All of that's going to play in to a divorce case because I've got somebody who may be on the brink of bankruptcy. Well, how's that going to impact liabilities? There's criminal matters. How's that going to impact child custody? I've got tax issues. If we divvy up the property this way, X amount of dollars are going to Uncle Sam. If we do it this way, it's going to work better for everybody. But we've got ego dynamics that I got to massage to get them to actually see like that's the better play. There's a lot involved. And then you've got over all of that, the overlay of psychology. And judges have zero training in most of that. And that's a problem because they're new judges, they're insecure, they don't know what they're doing. They're coming in with dealing with probably the most complex area of law with no experience and no training. And they're making impactful decisions on other people's lives. And they're stressed out because they've got 30, maybe 40 cases a day to deal with, 5 days a week. And they've got this amount of time to figure out, are you really a good dad? Should I really trust you? Because she says you're dangerous. My gut says, I don't think so. But my political side says, if I let you out and you do something, who's going to get blamed for it? Right. So what's really going on there? It's weaponized incompetence on her part. It's weaponized victimization on her part. And I've got to be concerned because I don't want to be the one that lets you out if you're going to actually do something dangerous. Most of the times you're not. Every now and then there's going to be one who's going to slip through. So what's the safer bet? Deny them all. Let God sort them out.
Has it gotten better over the years in 27 years or it's gotten worse?
Phenomenally worse. 27 years ago, I would come into a case, I'd pick up the phone, I'd call the other side, I'd be like, Brian, coming into this divorce case, listen, we got 2 kids, we got a house, we got to do some stuff. How are we going to get this over with? He'd be like, tell you what, let's just exchange our documents. I'll give you 3 weeks, and then let's sit down over a pot of coffee and a dozen bagels and get this knocked out. Today, it's an immediate rush to the courthouse with a domestic violence restraining order. It's global thermonuclear war from the get-go. And then maybe we'll talk about discussions of negotiations 6, 9, 12 months down the road, all of which is time that's being spent creating bills, doing useless discovery, doing repetitive motions, being difficult, painting you as the abuser, you as the victim, so that in the end, we're going to end up where we could have ended up in the very beginning, a pot of coffee and a dozen bagels.
And more money in our pockets.
Sometimes a lot of work in family law goes unpaid.
No, meaning spending on legal fees.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's
absolutely.
the typical timeline of a start to finish divorce in LA or just in general?
In general, you're probably looking at about a year. I mean, sometimes they're quick and easy. The minimum is 6 months for the actual like entry of judgment. Mm-hmm. Depending on what's going on there with property and kids, it can go 1 year. You know, the lesbian battle that we had over custody, like I think we went 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah.
For a divorce to get finalized?
Well, to have the custody stuff taken care of, yeah. Because
he's saying the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Oh, that dog sounds about really good about right now.
Yeah.
That's why he said it. So
if you do it as a Great Dane, you could have 2 Great Danes in that time.
Got it.
Well, they're only good for 8 years.
Yeah, that's true.
My dachshund went 16, so.
I've had a few that went like 12 to 14.
Yeah.
As we wrap, David, how can people find you?
The easiest way is just go to dadslawschool.com. And you can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's all dadslawschool.com.
Where's your office located?
We're in Santa Monica, right by the pier.
Nice.
About a mile from the pier.
And then how do they join your group chats and
Well, once they become a member of our VIP program, they go to dadslawschool.com. They join the VIP program. That gives them access to all of our online video trainings, our monthly meetups, and our WhatsApp group.
Got it. And how long do people usually stay in this your VIP group?
You know, we've got guys in there right now that are about 15, 16 months in.
Got it.
And they're really getting a lot out of it still. So
that's good.
It tells me that we're doing good work.
Good. Well, thanks for coming. We
Thank
had
you.
a great time
awesome.
hanging out.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.